Hey folks, it's Dr. Gerstmar from Aspire Natural Health. Just got the kids off to bed and checking in for day 17 of the 21-day Paleo Cleanse. Things starting to wind down here a little bit as far as the Paleo Cleanse goes, and overall doing fine. I will say the other day I noticed that I had eaten a little too little and was feeling kind of run down, a little cold and tired, made up by eating a little extra food for my Whole Foods meal that day, and felt much better following that. So just a reminder that while we're on a calorie restricted diet, if you'll remember, we're trying to shed a little bit of body fat, again, not primarily to lose weight, but to help liberate some of that body burden or some of that stored toxicity that we've got going on in our system. So we do need a little bit of a caloric deficit, but too much of a calorie deficit starts to put our bodies into hibernation mode, which isn't good for us in general and not great for a detox either. All right, so today I wanted to talk about the other aspect of detox that we haven't covered yet. So in the preceding 16 days, today's day 17, we've talked about the two primary ways that our body detoxifies, and that is through the urine, so taking anything that is water soluble, meaning can be dissolved in water, and flushing it out the kidneys and out as urine. Taking anything that is fat soluble, that is not able to be dissolved in water, processing through the liver, out through the bile into the digestive tract to be pooped away. So those are the body's two primary detox methods. Of course, there is breathing as well. Most people are doing at least a halfway decent job of that, though some other time we can talk about how most people are breathing too shallowly and from the top of their chest. And both for the nervous system and bit for detox here, we could stand for using deeper, some periods of practice of deeper breathing. But let's get into that third way that we can detoxify, and that simply put is sweating. So data has shown, you may have seen it out there on the internet, people talking about sweating, that we can detoxify through sweating. And the nifty part is that we can get rid of both fat-soluble toxins as well as water-soluble toxins through our skin. And that is because these sweat glands release both water, which we obviously know as sweat, but they also release oils. So all of us know that we have oils on the surface of our skin, and those glands release oils as well. So sweat can release, when we sweat, it can release both fat and water-soluble toxins, making it a really cool additional way to detox. So the 21-day Paleo Cleanse really focuses on those first two channels, that is peeing and pooping. And if you don't do anything additional, that's fine. You'll still get a lot of benefit from doing the 21-day Paleo Cleanse. But if you want to take things up a notch and increase your detoxification, then you'll want to add in sweating. Now, the simplest way to sweat is exercise, right? So physical activity or movement until you're sweating, and that can work great. When we want to get a little more focused, however, on using sweating really as a detox therapy, we're going to need to start including some heat treatments. The simplest one, or maybe not the simplest, but the one most people have heard about before, are saunas and steam rooms. The only issue here is most of us, unlike, if we lived in Finland or Norway or somewhere like that, most of us don't have easy access to a sauna or steam room. For many people who aren't able to shell out a few $1,000s to have their own, sauna cabinet or sauna at their home, most of us are looking at having to use a gym for the most part, or if you're part of a community, your community center at your apartment or your complex or wherever you are might have a sauna or steam room as well. So I highly recommend, if you have access to something like that, because your community has one of those, make use of it. Now, we don't have time today to go into all the details. We'll say my one safety tip is please don't be unsafe. Saunas in general, the science has shown, are extremely safe for people as long as they heed the obvious warnings that if they are feeling unwell, they're feeling faint, they feel like they're going to pass out, they're feeling sick, they heed that signal and get out of the sauna. If you do that, a sauna is extremely safe. It's been shown, some studies that came out of the Norwegian country showed that even for people with heart trouble and other issues, even for pregnant women, although again, they need to be a little more cautious. If you've never done it before, I don't recommend just, if you're pregnant, hopping into a sauna. But if approached reasonably and sensibly with some common sense measures, sauna seems to be safe for just about everyone. The goal, of course, is to get in, get a good sweat going, and keep that sweat going. Now, again, sensibly, but most of the protocols range from anywhere from about 10 to 30 minutes, then some more intensive and aggressive protocols that can go beyond what we're trying to do in the 21 Paleo Cleanse. One protocol I saw spanned hours, literally hours. You'd go in, you'd go out, you'd go in, you'd go out, but it was kind of a full-time thing for a period of time, and they saw a tremendous reduction in body burden with that kind of protocol. Now, that's more than we're looking for, but ideally, if someone could get into a sauna 10 to 30 minutes a day, as many days of the week as possible over this 21 days, they would jumpstart and accelerate the progress that they would see. Steam rooms can work very nicely as well. So one thing you'll see out there on the internet is that it must be like a far infrared sauna or a near infrared sauna, or someone touting, some different technology. Let me just tell you that the data does not back that up, that sweating in general is what we need to do, and anything that gets you sweating and keeps you sweating for a little while can be effective. Now, some of the different heating methods can be harder on a person's system or more easy to tolerate, and that's where some of the benefit comes. But at the end of the day, the point is sweating. So probably the most convenient as far as what it takes to do it, but one of the most inconvenient as far as a lot of people just not having access to it would be a sauna or steam room. And I can tell you personally, that's the case with me. I don't have easy access to one, so I have not included that therapy. Now, one last heat treatment that we're going to talk about today is the use of hot baths. So what you can do is draw a nice hot bath, again being sensible. Don't climb into something that's going to hurt you. If you're in the hot bath and you feel unwell, sick, faint, or like you're going to pass out, or just, really bad, climb out of the darn bath and take care of yourself, okay? So not licensed to do something silly, but the whole point is to go in and get really nice and heated up. Again, generally staying in a hot bath for somewhere between 10 and protocols can be up to an hour. And then here's really the key point. You would do that hot bath, get all nice and heated up. You'd come out of the bath, towel yourself off, then you climb in with some covers and lay down and sweat. Obviously, you're not going to sweat much while you're in a bath because you're surrounded by water. The bath is really about heating you up, and then the subsequent time, now that you're nice and hot, right, you've just come out of the bath, you don't want to cool down. You want to hop in, get under some covers, keep that heat going, and now you begin your sweating session. So the nice thing is that most of us have access to a bath and hot water, so we can do that part. The downside is that it takes longer. So where you may hop in a sauna for 10 to 30 minutes, most people, a hot bath and sweat is going to be, somewhere between 10 and 20 minutes for the bath, up to an additional, 20, 30, 60 minutes for the sweat. So the good news is it can be more easily accessible. The bad news is time constraints for people. All right, folks, so I wanted to talk about a third protocol that can jumpstart your progress if you're looking at doing a cleanse. Okay, something like the 21-day Paleo Cleanse covers the kidneys and the liver as far as detoxification. But if you do want to take it to the next level, or independently, if you just want to add these therapies in, you can add in the sweating therapies. For most people, we're looking at a sauna or steam room. Exercise, of course, is tremendously helpful. Anything that gets you sweating that way is useful, and you can, do it yourself with a hot bath and a wrap up so you sweat. All right, folks, that is it for day 17. At Aspire Natural Health, we are experts at treating gut dysfunctions, autoimmune diseases, and other hard to treat cases. If that's you or someone you know, please contact us. We can schedule a complimentary 15-minute phone consultation where you can talk to me. We can answer the 2 questions of 1, can I help you? And 2, am I someone that you feel comfortable working with? If it's the case, we can get to work and see what we can do. All right, day 17, another one under wraps for me. A few more days left. We'll cover a few extra topics, and I honestly don't know. We may go over and have to cover some other issues later. Hope you found this useful, and I'll be checking back with you tomorrow. Until then, folks, take care.